Hey Sagittarius, it's Empress Rose here. Welcome to your reading. These are general readings, so we take what works and we leave what doesn't, as with everything in life. And if I don't catch your wavelength on this reading, go check your other mutual placements. And I'll be posting pictures of the spreads at the end here. So, all right, what do we have for Sagittarius? All right, we're starting with the Oracle Mystical Moments for an intuitive vibe on why we're going for Sagittarius. And these cards just have a lot of, they're just all very cool and have very cool messages. And the messages vary a little from reading to reading. But the ones that you're getting, so the messages are like almost always true just in general. But the ones you're getting for this reading right now are the ones that Tarot and Spirit want you to hear right now. So they're the highlights right now. They're jumping out literally out of the deck. So I don't know. I had some questions about that, so I thought I'd explain a little bit that they all have really cool messages, but these are the highlighted messages for you this week. Okay, so we have Butterfly Garden. Your mind has changed about something. It's very shiny. Your mind has changed about something, transformed. You've changed quite a bit. You're very fascinated by this change. You're very protective of this change. You maybe haven't shared with anybody how you've grown and how you've changed. Someone would have to be extremely curious. But you're definitely very fascinated by growth, by your own growth, and the ways that you've changed, and yeah, the ways that you're different here. Very focused on that. And then this is what the difference could be. This is the House of Flowers. So we have this sort of, this grid prison-like home, this uninspired, isolated, grid-like existence, the spreadsheet, and then what happens? We're just blooming. We're busting out of it. It can't be contained. Our joy, our life, our enthusiasm, none of it can be contained anymore. We're changing, we're growing, we're becoming much more lively, much more, I want to say fragrant, much more fragrant, much more beautiful, and just our beauty is popping out, and it can't be contained anymore by what we thought we should be, how we thought we should be, what we thought the organized nature of life and any kind of organization or grid or expectations that you had placed on yourself. This is what's changed. You are no longer, this boring, rigid structure. You are popping out, growing, blossoming, blooming in a way that just can't be contained and breaks through old structures. So it's very exciting changes. No wonder. It's hard for me to really put these together very closely, because this one's this private change where you're just kind of enamored with it and watching this flower bloom. And this is quite a bit of a private flower. And then, but this is like, oh, everybody for miles around can see this house busting open, can see this structure being broken apart, and something really beautiful emerging from it. This is my Jane Eyre card of, this sort of small, quiet exterior, and then just this rich interior, no longer able to be contained. But you may be the only one knowing that this is coming, or knowing that this is happening. And then there's some companionship here. There is somebody with you, this watching this change happen. But overall, it's very private. But there is some sort of very exciting, beautiful blossoming happening, and it's emerging in a very controlled environment. Something boring is becoming very exciting and interesting and fascinating. And it could be just yourself. You're now very interesting and fascinating, and maybe it's just a sense of self-discovery of like, maybe you just were, and then now you're like, wait, who am I? What is going on inside here? And it's very exciting. And you're finding a lot of your own beauty and your own gifts and your own talents. And, you're learning how to love yourself. And as you do that, you're starting to see new parts of yourself that maybe were hidden away as long as you were being self-critical. Those little parts were like, oh, if we come out, is she going to like say, no, back in your prison, you parts of myself, I don't like you. You're not part of the plan. You're not part of this, but this is like, maybe now you've changed your mind about those parts of yourself and you're starting to embrace them. And then the more you embrace them, the more they blossom and the more they come forward and are beautiful. And not only are you accepting these parts of yourself, you're starting to really see their beauty, and it's starting to change your exterior and starting to show through and change your world. The more you come into this love and appreciation for the ways that you've changed and grown and who you are. So, all right, Sagittarius, this is your past, your present, your inner landscape. What's at issue? Your environment, your to-do list, and your possible outcome. Fascinating. I love it when I shuffle and still the same cards come out. Or similar cards. It's just today, Scorpio, Libra, I think a lot of these cards came out for them. Okay, in your recent past, here's your Four of Swords. And look, it's so faded, and it's going to be really shiny because I have my light on because I have been doing this one a little later in the day. But it's very faded. That's because it's nap time. It's been nap time. Something's been paused. Something's been paused. You came home from some sort of battle. You emerged from some sort of exciting battle or some difficulty, and you've paused. You've taken a nap in preparation for the rest of your day, for the rest of your life. There's been a nap time. You're on a break, and there's been a nap time here, and you're going to come back. You're going to come back, and it looks like you're starting to, but yeah, you've taken a break from things. You may have been laid off from a job. You may be on a break from a relationship. But all of this has aided in your self-discovery and been part of that, While you were napping, you had a dream. And then in your present moment, you have this Eight of Cups. So your intuition is really calling to you. It's like there's more. There's something more here. You're kind of waking up from this nap and you're realizing that there's more that you want out of life. There's something more. So Eight of Cups, most people would say that's an armload of cups. How are you even going to carry that Eight of Cups? That's a lot of cups. That's a lot of emotional fulfillment. Why isn't that enough for you? And you're saying, I know that there are Two of Cups. My intuition is telling me that what I have right here, the life I have right now, isn't quite fulfilling. It's not what I want. I want more. This grid-like existence is not fulfilling to me. I want those other two cups. And yes, we've got two cards here. We later on we have the Fool. So we have this card here, and it's showing us there's a difficult path, there's problems, there's mountains to climb, and a lot of difficulty ahead. But you think it's worth it. Your intuition is calling you very loudly, very clear. And there's more to life than this, and there's more satisfaction. There's something more beautiful for you to find and enjoy in your life. And so then in your hopes and fears, you have this Knight of Cups. So you're hoping for this emotional offering. Either you're hoping to offer someone part of yourself, part of your heart, or even connect to a job. You've taken this break. It's given you time to think. You realize that there's more out here. There's more for you. And then we have this extra cup. You're hoping for more emotional fulfillment for this cup, to find this cup, to offer this cup, to be offered this cup. You're going on a quest. You're the knight, and you're going on a quest and for more emotional fulfillment. And so you're hoping that you're going to at least find one more cup. There's two more cups, but you're hoping to at least find one more cup. And this is your mission, is to find that cup. And maybe you're finding that cup so you can give that cup to somebody else. Maybe just give it to the world. If you have more extra cups, if you have extra emotional fulfillment and you get to pour from a full cup, then maybe you get to pour from a full cup. You get to offer a cup to others and offer cups to the world. So you're very hopeful that you're going to find this additional cup, and maybe this additional cup will help you to be more generous, emotionally generous, or even just financially generous, or whatever, from your excess cups. So one of my favorite, William Morris, and you guys saw I'm a huge fan of William Morris since I was like in middle school. And I used to have a big my backdrop was a William Morris print. And he was also a philosopher, and this is how, like, I love his prints, but I actually really fell in love with his philosophy. And one of the things he said was that the most painful thing, or possibly one of the most painful things about being poor, is the inability to be generous and to feel that, and having your whole life and existence hang in the balance every time you want to give or be generous with somebody. And that always really struck me as one of the greatest difficulties of being poor is being able to find the ability to be generous without necessarily risking your children's meal in order to be generous. So this is sort of that kind of generosity. You like to experience that kind of generosity, and it might be just from being emotionally healthy, being so happy with your life that it can't help but pop out here, and you can't help but offer that happiness to the world or to the people around you. So you're on this quest now to find more. There's more to life than this. You woke up from a nap and you were like, you know what, there's more. And you want to go find it so that you can be generous and bring it to other people and pour from a full cup, and give out of your give generously, and it could be bringing a love offering, showing someone some love, because also you could be like, hey, you know what, I've worked really hard, I've built my career, now I'd like to fall in love, now I'd like to have a relationship and have a deep love connection. So there's something here where you're hoping to have a deep love connection, hoping to bring love either into the world or to an individual or something like that. You would like to give something. And whether that's a proposal or love or whatever, you want to be generous, and you're looking forward to a time when you have more to spare and you have more to give. In your issue here is actually supporting everything I just said, is this Five of Pentacles. This is a time of poverty. This is feeling a lack either of affection or either of affection or of money, of just coming out of a time of lack. And you're starting to experience emerging from that, and it is creating some difficulty, maybe some push and pull of how much can I give, or how much can I accept, how much can I receive. You could also be hoping for someone to give something to you. Maybe you're like, okay, I got to go find these 2 extra cups, but maybe someone could just give me one of them. So you're hoping for some generosity, and you're coming out of this. So this is sort of what's frustrating about this card, and I think the Rider-Waite deck expresses this better, is that there is stuff to give. There's plenty of wealth. There's plenty of wealth in the world. There's plenty of love in the world. There's plenty of care in the world. And it's all right next to you, but it's not available to you. So this is a being like in proximity to, a wealthy church, with a gorgeous, wealthy church with everything it needs. And then right outside, there's poverty. There's this people that aren't included in the love of that community, that aren't included in the generosity of that community and in the wealth of that community. So you may have experienced some, again, sort of this like prison-like, Spartan-like existence, and you're coming out of that. So that can create sort of, how that could be an issue is that you could be resenting having had gone through this time of lack, of not having enough, and knowing that there's more out there and that there's more available. Resenting that, having had to go through that, it could create difficulty. And I think Aries last time got the preparing for abundance. Like if you're starting to have something come in, you can be you're going to have to get your budgets together, or if you're starting to have work come in, you're going to have to get your scheduling together. So there's definitely some technical difficulties with leveling up and with flow, things coming back into flow, be it love, be it affection, be it money, whatever. When things come back into flow, there's always a little bit of an adjustment period. When a river is low, that's one thing, and when the river is high, the dams have to adjust to that flow. So there's some sort of adjustment to maybe an increased flow coming in, but you have been in a feeling of lack, either a lack of affection. This could easily be coronavirus related, having not been able to see your friends or loved ones, and this big pause going on here, and just really feeling that lack of touch, that lack of care, that lack of community and connection to other people. And it could also be related to a job loss or laying off and really feeling that lack of money. But you're coming out of it. That's the good news. Unfortunately, there's an adjustment period to that. So in your environment, there's the Fool. There's some sort of opportunity coming in very fast. It definitely has some risks associated with it. It's not clear skies, but it is, here you are, you're on this mountaintop, and somebody's deciding to leap. So this could be someone in your environment, someone you know, someone you love, or just even like a business being launched, because this is a very launching feeling here. Or someone around you launching, going off to college or going off someplace else. So somebody's launching themselves forward into a future, and there are definitely risks associated with it, but the benefits seem to outweigh them, and we're ready to go, and we're ready to make a commitment to a new future. Somebody is here, someone in your environment, a loved one, a business venture, something like that. It's got a lot of this vibe to it too, of just popping out. Okay, here, yes, we do have this prism-like existence, but somebody here is breaking out of that and breaking free and moving forward on a new venture, and that's in your environment. That could be something that's going on around you, or something you're involved in, or like a side story, or something that's not part of the rest of this, something like that. And then your job here, your to-do list, is death. This is walk through a portal. There's a portal here. And it goes from life to death and death to life. And it's pretty big changes. So this isn't death. This isn't, your to-do list is not to die. And nobody's to-do list is to die. Tarot generally avoids everything, all of my training and all of that in tarot, and all of the books I've read and all of the training I've done. Tarot generally doesn't touch actual death. We're talking about like archetypes and sort of, it's almost like dreaming out loud and dreaming in our day-to-day, dreaming with cards. Like, it's almost like I'm dreaming for you and then also interpreting the dream. So we're dealing with images and metaphors and things that might mean something and feel something to you. But rarely are we, only once before did I actually get like a someone's going to die message. And yeah. So this is more like a, and that was a weird message. And I was like, I don't feel comfortable with this message, but nonetheless, yeah. So normally I won't give that message. So this is not, your to-do list is not to die. Your to-do list is to create a big transformation, a big change. What is this if not a transformation and a change? Transformation. Fascinated with your own transformation and the own changes that you're going through. So this is, and there might be a grief process involved as you leave some sort of life behind. You leave, well, here you go. You've got to go forward to get these 2 cups. Your intuition is calling you. It's undeniable. You feel this call forward, and you're going to have to create a big change in order to find those 2 cups. You can't just keep sitting here to find these 2 cups. You're going to have to leap forward. See, you go from sitting to leaping, or somebody does, and you've got to sort of go through this change and this challenge. And so this is our portal. This is our doorway from one room to another, from one chapter of our lives. We turn the page. It's the next chapter of our lives. We don't turn the page to nothingness, but you've got to turn the page. You've got to turn the page on some sort of chapter in your life, and you're the driver. This is your to-do list. You're in the driver's seat of this transformation and this change. So you're ending some sort of chapter in your life, and you're going to be moving forward because you know that there's more to life than this. You know that. So you've got to make some sort of pretty big change in your life, and those can be scary. There is some enthusiasm here for it, and you know that that change is going to lead you to being able to be more generous. This may have been an inability to be generous, to wanting to be generous, and not being able to. So you do have some big changes. You're going to leave probably big changes like this, that death references. We're going to have a shift in our friendships and our relationships. Not everybody's going to appreciate sort of this leveling up that we want to do. Not everyone's going to understand it. Some people might be angry. Why weren't they happy with these 8 cups? I would have been happy with 8 cups. I don't understand why they're not happy with 8 cups. So there's going to be people that don't understand, that might want to hold you back. This house is now totally fucked up. They're going to say, look, it was this solid house, really could have gotten a good price for that. And now look, it's all broken apart and you're like, but it's beautiful. It's blooming. Appreciate it. So this transformation implies a new beginning, of course, but first, the first part is a little bit of the leaving. And then we get the new beginning. We have the flower blooming here and a new beginning. Death is a very necessary, endings are absolutely necessary part of life. So there's some sort of ending. You need to walk through the threshold. All this energy comes from you. And then here we go. So we've got 8 of Cups, Knight of Cups. This could be a love relationship. I'm kind of seeing career or just maybe even personal development. But here we have our 4 of Wands, a classic 11-11 engagement card, wedding card. But this is being supported as you bring the fruits of your labors so far. You've had some sort of intuitive a message that you need to go forward with something, and it is going to be fruitful, and you are going to be recognized. It's going to be a fruitful. Here we have this institutional recognition. We have the leveling up. We have making a commitment to our intuition and to our intuitive growth, and seeing some fruits of our labors. This is like first fruits, initial fruits coming in for the harvest of our intuitive path and the path that we decided to go on. And this is making a commitment to that path. So you may need to end something, but then this new commitment comes in and you make a commitment to this new path and this new growth and this transformation. So we have basically 3 transformation cards. Something's changing. You're changing, and you're going to end up, a possible outcome of this is that you make a commitment to a new path. Like some sort of, like you sign up, you register for classes, you're accepted at the university for this new career that you are hopeful will be more fulfilling, and you'll be able to give back to the world, and you'll be able to help people with that. This could be, a relationship where you end something, some part of it, or some old relationship, and then you end up with a new relationship and really committing. So this is really committing on this new path. We start off with this intuitive vibe that there's something more to life than this. We make a big transformation, a big change. We bring that change, and then we could possibly end up here committing to this new path. And seeing some real fruits to that labor. So, all right, Sagittarius, I hope that was helpful and useful for you. Thank you so much for your likes, comments, and subscribes. And you guys are really nice with your comments, and I really appreciate them. And it makes me just think I must have, somehow you guys are just the greatest viewers on YouTube, in my opinion. So thank you very much.